Thank you, Ravi Singh, for being on my podcast.
So thank you for the invitation. Sorry it took so long.
No, I appreciate it. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਆਏ and you're still doing so much. ਕਿ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਏਡ ਕੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ older
1999. We're a humanitarian organization, first ever from the Sikh community. And since then, I think we've traveled so many dozens and other countries, and it's become a symbol where people rely on organization to react in a very sort of like short time. And many, many countries, we have so many people who look for Khalsa Aid. Like in Pakistan floods not long ago, we had people making videos, they want Khalsa Aid here. That's how much love there is because we react very quick and we get stuck in. So Khalsa Aid is a humanitarian organization and inspired by Sikh teachings of Sarbat Tapala, basically.
I love that. And ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੜੀ ਸੋਚ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਏਡ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਸੀਗਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ 99 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਡੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਕੋਈ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਭਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਲਿਖ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਏਡ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ
I love that you doing this. And where do you see Khalsa Aid in the future?
that depends on people who are listening to your podcast, people who are listening to your program here, people around the Sangat. How far do you want Khalsa to go? Already we're established around the world. We want to go more. We want to be doing much more, open more offices in other countries, but that requires more funding. The Sangat, it's up to the Sangat how big you want Khalsa to do. It's all up to, your Eka Guru the Hukum, how far we go as well. But if the Sangat wants us to go further, they support us. And like I said, we take ordinary people who volunteer with us for a few months on international missions. In all internationally, people receive Khalsa Aid in seats with so much love and respect.
Then ਕਿੰਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ help ਲੈਣੇ ਹੋ or help locally and from our own community?
Yes, I do volunteer. We got volunteers in Iraq, in Turkey, in India, many countries who are local people who love the work that, they've seen how Khalsa reacts and they want to volunteer. In Iraq, if you want to call volunteers do something, we can probably call 200-300 volunteers in a couple of hours to help us. That's how much love there is. And it's the same in India, thousands of volunteers and anywhere else. So yeah, we are, we always say our volunteers are heroes and they are. Without volunteers, Khalsa Aid doesn't exist.
And ਤੁਸੀਂ you're a regular person. You
I
love
am,
doing
I'm
crazy
regular.
stuff.
I am, yeah.
So what do you do for your self-care in the time?
No, I mean, you never really think about that. You just get on with it. And, people, see me working day and night. I'm on calls, I'm on messages. But the way I relax, after my kid transplant, lost all muscle, lost strength, joined the gym. So I go to the gym about 5 nights, late at night, 10:30, whatever onwards. Only about 5-6 weeks in the gym. I enjoy my space. Come back, watch a nice horror movie or horror show. I'm a very big horror movie or fan. And I like American muscle cars, so I got another second one I'm doing up. But if I was a Baba, I don't have to do anything up. I can just get like that if I want. Because I'm an ordinary guy, I've got to save money like everyone else. So, these are my passions. Coffee, hustle card, and having a laugh. Life is too short. We do the serious work, but we also have very, very sharp humor. So I like people who got humor.
Humor. I love that. I love that. Kind of play hard.
I can probably push too hard on the humor, but that's what we are. We love humor.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ open up. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ, right? They see you as a certain figure, and don't follow the person.
Follow the vision, the message. Nowadays, we follow individuals who let us down. We follow individuals who then get corrupted with power or money. Everyone should be held accountable. Everyone should be answerable and transparent. Organizations to be supported as an organization. Unfortunately, I became Khalsa Aid, the face of Khalsa Aid, but I started it. But it's not something I encourage. I don't think following individuals or saying like we believe in you blindly is the right way. It's not the right way. Whoever replaces me might not be the same. So if you don't ask questions now, later you won't have the chance. Every organization head should be accountable.
That is so true. And I think that's where we get confused who to follow because they're not showing what they're doing.
Yeah. That's the problem. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, which when you're in this field, you see, which is wrong. So,
and you stay very true to your values at the same time. Just get a mention.
We stuck to the same thing. As we said, we're humanitarian. We stuck to humanitarian. We didn't get distracted, just trying to get a few more likes or get popular by jumping into cases or stuff that we're not specialists in. Just to say, oh, Ravi Singh said, let's do this now. Oh my God, there's a case here, let's do that. No, we stuck to humanitarian. That's who we are. We got major projects around the world, we got mega projects in Punjab, and we get joy out of that, and we become experts in the field. A lot of people will start doing bits and pieces, but we have one focus, and the values remain the same, that we are driven, that we must speak up against injustice. Like I talk about 1984, fake encounters, genocide, talking about the disappearance in Punjab. This is our history. It happened in a lifetime. Most of people now trying to shut that dialogue, not talk about it. Fear, I don't know what the fear is. So I encourage people, anybody around the world, it could be refugees, could be people in Sudan who are starving, could be anywhere, Punjab, whatever, speak up for everyone. We have a voice for a reason. And our identity has been given, so we stand out. Standing out means speaking out as well.
And get them bolna bhi hai, udan
Most of them dead, most of them being killed by the same government, or their relatives being jailed, or their relatives are suffering in silence. They can't speak in their language in their villages because of the fear. But you don't live there. You live outside. So what is your excuse? You're not talking up. There are people in situations around the world. Journalists could be in Iran. Journalists could be in Palestine. Journalists could be in Punjab who are being killed or targeted. But doesn't mean people are not still speaking up. So it's our duty to speak up when something's wrong. Yes, you might get targeted, but you won't get targeted as much as the people that you're speaking up for. You're speaking up for those who don't have a voice. So what is your fear? That you might get targeted? So what? We're still privileged in these countries.
Yeah,
Speak up.
that's so important. And for the youth, they want to, but koi time hijkata hundi hai. So what would you encourage them?
With the youth, it's the same thing. We are moving away from many of our set core values you talk about. One is our history, which is current history, last 40, 50 years. Then there's a history before that, which inspires you to think differently, to act differently. Think that what is a Sikh? It's not simple Sikh, go there, matha take, go there and come back. Actual Sikh is like Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, some people will come out with the fact that, oh, we only believe in Guru Nanak Sahib, we don't believe in Guru Granth Sahib because, they come out with this rubbish. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji was the first Khalsa. He spoke against the emperor. He spoke against injustice. So our examples are all there, but unfortunately our kids are told not to be so revolutionary, not to have a spirit. Don't become a doctor. Don't become a dentist. Don't say anything. You might get in trouble. And this is why our hunt and all community is behind. Other children are taught from day one who they are, what their history, what they suffered. It could be the Jewish kid, it could be Muslim kid, it could be Hindu kid, it could be Jew, any Buddhist, Christian, whatever kid. Sikhs, we should be fearless, but become very fearful teaching facts to our kids. So our youth need to research it. Our youth have no excuse. They're very intelligent, very clever. They can do most things. They become doctors, engineers. You're telling me they can't type in Google like Sikh history? There's plenty. So the youth need to do it themselves. Like fixing my life, tell people, if you're going to do something, do not wait for anybody to do it. It could be you want to study a course, you want to help a charity, you want to join a gym. If you wait for people, you're never going to think up. It's the same with your Sikh heritage and history. If you don't search it, no one's going to come and open your door. And then you'll have kids. You raise them without even less knowledge than you. And the whole generation is finished. And next generation actually has no idea what will be. Connection with Punjab, especially, is very important.
Yes, definitely. Going back to their roots and helping the roots and making sure
they
that
need to visit Punjab. I think somehow need to see what it's like. Poverty, people struggling in silence.
Agree. And what about the mental health? How do you deal with mental health? And there's so many different aspects of that too when you're dealing with.
I think like some people just born mad like me, I suppose. We're like driven by something different. Nowadays, kids come up with a lot of stuff. Like they will come up with soft stuff that I don't agree with, and people get offended easily when I say things. We become very weak. There's a generation, very weak generation, physically and mentally. There are individuals who have mental health problem. My brother, he's been in section for the last 7 years and detained, basically. So we know what mental health is like. There are people who are suffering mental health. They need help. So my advice, the main advice to youth is, if you feel your mental health is suffering, you don't feel too good, you feel down, talk to someone. There are genuine mental health cases that do it. But for me, unfortunately, I know it's bad to say, but I don't have time for that. We just get on with it. Maybe one day they'll catch up with me. Maybe I won't. Maybe some people like me, we've seen too much, where we've seen so much, you become like weirdly immune in a way like other people would. So you lock it all away. You've seen it 25 years, a lot of people in bad situations. I can't even give you an example. Maybe some of you people might be too young, but like there's so many stories of horrific stories. Very simple. Every person, like by law, you should be able to politically seek. If you want Khalistan, you should seek it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make you a terrorist. But our own community, like our good friend who was murdered, Avtar Singh Kandar, he himself is very, very pro-Khalistan. He's very close, like I'm a brother. It's okay. He wasn't going out there telling people to kill anyone, harm anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a political cause. People want it or not. Then people ask me about my views on the referendum, right? They go, oh, they think like they're tricking me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, Ravi Singh's going to talk about referendum. It's just stupid because referendum is, people who judge me like that are stupid. The referendum is the right for individual to vote or not vote for something they may believe. But we misunderstand as a community, people who are against this referendum, that, oh my God, referendum means you become a terrorist again. No, referendum could be held on anything. Like UK, in Scotland, there's referendum held. Referendum held in Kurdistan recently. Referendum held parts of Europe. We had a referendum on, do you want to leave Europe or not? Unfortunately, we left Europe, which I don't agree with. We left Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Referendum doesn't mean suddenly you become a terrorist. It's your vote. Say, do you want Palestine or not? It's a peaceful way of showing your political views. And there's nothing wrong with it. But people say, oh, Ravi Singh, let's trick him. What do you think of referendum? It's just really silly how we approach individuals in the community. So everything is, if somebody say to someone, will do some harm to someone, then I've got a problem. Don't agree with that. If somebody said, do you want to vote for Palestine or not Palestine? That's fine. That's up to the individual. I'm not going to say it's wrong because it's a vote. It's a democratic vote. A lot of people in India may not agree with it. It's fine. But there's a lot of stuff in India that happened that people don't talk about. So those people who say referendum wrong, say these are Khalistani terrorists, yet they don't talk about 1984 genocide. They never held any of the India. I can guarantee you guys, any of the Indians never went on the street to say, we want justice for the Sikhs, 1984. They haven't. But yet they'll tell you, you shouldn't have referendum. There's nothing wrong with asking. So we need to understand and educate ourselves. We don't look at the etymology of words either. We don't look at like where the word comes from, the word revolution comes from. It's the thinking. You can't stop thinking. It doesn't mean things may happen. It just means you have a democratic way out to express your opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got carried away.
No, that's perfect. I love that. It is, especially with you. They try to figure out कितने ਆਪਾਂ कितने अपन उनको किए this and that, and that's gone.
I get up on it, young or what I think. I think it makes me laugh. I think you have no idea what we're doing, what we've done, and you think you're going to put me on the spot because we don't read, we don't research, we don't know any global systems. Same people who challenging me want to know exactly how systems are working around the world. How are we going to work politically? They have no idea. Just short few seconds of fame. Or you trick someone. It's not a trick. People think I'm shy for me. I'm not. I talk about it openly.
I love that. खोल के गल नहीं चाहिए. Like you said, if you stand on something, you should be able to talk about it.
Yeah, if you don't want to talk about it, say I don't talk about it. Unfortunately, when we get together as youngsters or individuals, people start arguing, then fighting, then threatening each other because they lack knowledge to answer and question. Instead of saying, I don't know that, they get very defensive and it causes rifts. Because we don't arm ourselves with knowledge. We get very upset. Oh my God, how dare you ask me that? Because I don't know the answer. Instead of saying I have no idea, we start arguing.
And trying to find a solution too together.
Of course. I mean, ignorance, arrogance, that makes you defensive.
That's so true. And our community definitely has a lot of it. So
it's just sad. People are split. So many splits in the community. You want to say when the Gurdwara splits. You want to quote splits. Everything is split. So I say to the youth, work together.
Well, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Was there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners?
Or the sisters, yeah?
Sisters?
I mean, women always had a role to play. I grew up in Punjab. I remember when my mother or my masi, she would do my jura when I was young. They could be talking about Shaheed or whatever, or history. They talk about something. And then on Sundays, they all wash their hair. We used to sit in the village by the well or by each other. And women again will be combing your hair,
Mm.
putting tail in, and talking about something to you, grandmothers or mothers, something historical. Nowadays, it's gone. The few words you can put in the kids' ear when they're young. Good thing, fathers are also playing motherly, fatherly roles. So they need to understand that as youngsters, when you're having kids, that moment you spend in the morning and evening is so important. What you fill in their ears will last a lifetime. And choose their words carefully what they're choosing, because if you don't teach them history, they will not grow up knowing your history. And that is from our old experience have been in the morning, maybe doing your good tea for you for school, talk about something, engage with the child. We don't have you get up, have your cereal, school time, go, come back. Everyone's stressed. Kid just spends time on a looming game and that's it. So we need to change that.
I love that.
But you cannot be like so tight on them. Have a few minutes, then have a few minutes. They send kids to Punjabi school. Brilliant. I went to Punjabi school. Although I came from Punjab, they sent me anyway. But the way we approach the kids, don't want to go. They find it boring. They go, oh my God, I don't want to go because there's no motivation. They need to make it interactive. They need to come up with the age. How do we interact? How do we make it interesting? Everything. That's my message. Life is as good as you guys want to make it. And if you want to people to follow what you do, be vocal, use your social media for the good, and the youth are going to shape the next generation. And if you're dumbing down on a lot of stuff in our history, don't expect anything else. Then in the next generation, we'll finish what we are. We won't even know what we are anymore. Let's go. Let's work together and learn, pass knowledge. Maybe these guys can put some links on their social media to a good organization helping with knowledge seeking. There's Sick Free here in Texas. There's Sick Coalition. There's Cell Deaf. They do a lot of stuff for civil rights as well. You learn from that. If you think they're going to share their work, there are a lot of Pantip organizations. There are loads of individuals doing Gurbani classes online. Just do something.
I needed to hear that.